Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. We're going to get into an emotion here we might be struggling with, trying to find a way to understand it. Oh, we just got this freaking word again. Uh, repulsed. I just did one a little, literally earlier today. So I don't know if we're going to use that one again, but we got skeptical. Seeing something. We'll touch on repulse, but it's not going to go the same way it did before. So, skeptical. Uh, touching on repulsed, I look at that as something comes in and it makes us feel uncomfortable. We want to get rid of it. We don't want it to be here. It doesn't belong in our space we feel. But we're asking ourselves, maybe we're forcing ourselves. Like, I like to use uh, body experiences if we're energetically sensitive. If we go into a situation and somebody says something to us and we feel like we have to go to the bathroom, we have to sneeze, we get a pain somewhere, uh, I want to go away from this because it's making me feel uncomfortable. Uh, this word almost feels like we're kind of interested, but we're not. Verse just, I want to leave. I want to go away from this. I don't want this here in my space. This kind of feels like, I don't know, it's kind of got my attention and I'm open to it, but I don't know. Or maybe some of this stuff upsets us. We can just use what I talk about in general. The majority of the stuff I say probably trigger people all day, every day, because it's touching on wounds. It's trying to help heal things. It's not going to go over very well. Uh, the opposite of repulsed is cleanliness. I would be in a place to feel, it'd be in my comfort. It'd be fine. There would be nothing that would go up against any of my beliefs. Whatever I hold inside would be continuously validated. Nothing would contradict that. Skeptical, the opposite is trust. Uh, the majority of the time, we could say that I'm going to trust whatever I believe inside. Uh, that's not a fair way to go about life, but it's a safe way for us because it's going to constantly validate. It's going to keep us in our safe, but it's also going to keep us in a very small bubble. It's going to limit us in life. The best part about getting to a place to be open-minded uh, and having discussions or conversations with people is that we're open to different ideas, different views, and it doesn't mean we have to own them. We don't have to identify with them, but we can have a conversation and not flip out and not be shaken. That is a beautiful thing. But I feel like this word would say we would flip out. We would lose it. We would not be okay with it because it's shaking things to our core. It's shaking our identity. And when I say that, it is our beliefs. Whatever I believe, I identify with. And uh, if it's being shaken that hard, it's not very true. It's not a good foundation. We can look at like debates and romantic relationship arguments or nasty arguments anywhere. Those are so energetically charged because we are so dependent on uh, the other person to validate how we feel in here. If I was so set in my way and it was like such a strong belief inside of me, I wouldn't even have to raise my voice. I wouldn't have to do anything because my belief, nothing could shake it. It is so true. If this repulsed is like this shaking our belief inside, uh, it's not a very strong foundation, which would mean that we should kind of be open to the idea that, hey, maybe there is something different here that I should look at, or maybe I should see it this way. Like, let's look at, we're trying to do something and somebody comes up and says, hey, you should do it this way. And we get really mad about it because they had a better idea or their way's more efficient or whatever. Uh, where does that touch us inside? Is that hurting our ego? Is that making us think we're not as intelligent? Well, just to stroke your ego a little bit, anybody that's not actually doing the process and like getting frustrated, it's a lot easier to have the other set of eyes already see you struggle and be like, oh, maybe we should do it this way. So don't get so upset about that. Regardless, getting back on track of trust. Well, if we're being open-minded, well, we'd have to, like, we almost have to take down that trust a bit, because if we go back to the idea that anything that's inside of me, my belief, I'm going to trust because that's going to keep me in my bubble. But do we want to leave there? Do we want to touch the water a little bit? Do we want to flirt with the idea? Oh, we can just observe. We don't have to take any action. We don't have to do anything. We can observe. We can sleep on it. Wake up. First thought of our, comes into mind is probably going to be the answer. We can be open with things. It doesn't mean we have to take action. That is the observation state versus feeling the need to make a decision or being pressured to. We can just observe. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. King of Swords reversed. Arrogant. This is going back to, I think we're just in a conversation. Somebody's talking about something. They have a belief. And when I think of arrogant, it's going to be a very strong, like, no, you're wrong. This is how it is. And that's really not a constructive way to have a conversation. I will agree with that. But if it's coming through that way, that's enough to turn anybody off from being open-minded or having a conversation. But maybe what they're saying, maybe that's what we're repulsed by, the delivery. But are they really being arrogant, or is it triggering us? Going back up against that foundation. If we're triggered inside, we have a weak space. And that doesn't mean that we're weak as a person. It's just like whatever that's connected to, it's shaking for a reason. It's not a strong foundation. If somebody is confident, there's a big difference there too. Arrogance versus confidence. People can take confidence as arrogant all day, every day. And that's an insecurity of their own. It's not the person delivering it. It's just the other person's confident, their energy. They don't have to, going back to that whole belief, they believe what they're saying is true. They can prove it however they want to. It's not arrogant. It's not bragging. It's not jamming it down your throat saying, you're wrong, you must drink this juice. Nine of Swords reversed. Self-compassion. This is going back to, made that one comment of like trying to do something and then somebody that's observing saying, hey, try this. How quickly we can take offense to that when really, how are we handling that? Are we going to have compassion for ourselves? Or are we going to throw a fit and respond in anger? The same aspect of how are we going to respond about this? Say they knew something that we didn't know yet, or we didn't see, or they made they saw some better way to do something. And are we going to compare ourselves? Or are we going to take a step back and be like, hey, I had other things to do during this time. And this is looking at like somebody's in a different space in life than you are. And maybe we're a little jealous or envious of it, which is good. That's motivation. But I shouldn't say good. I should say that's fine. But jealousy I look as motivation. If we do something with it. Otherwise, we're just going to complain. It shows you what you want. So going back to that is if they're in a different space in time and we're doing that whole comparison thing, well, everybody's life's different and we all have to experience things at different times because it's our journey, it's our path. Really taking away that comparison aspect, but again, that's coming on self. That's a little insecurity in there somewhere that's might be getting triggered. The Wheel of Fortune reversed. a temporary delay. This is touching just on what I was just saying. We may have had other things to do that were personal to us. Like, is your wounding the same as my wounding from childhood versus somebody else's wounding? No, it's not the same. Sure, we could try to categorize it and say we went through the same things or X, Y, or Z, but in reality, uh, everybody's situation is going to be different, even if it isn't a category, because it hurt or felt a different way to you than it did to somebody else. And maybe they had more patterns to do things this way and had more things to heal and all these things. The main point is we're coming back to removing the need or the aspect of comparing to where other people are at in life versus you. And having that compassion for yourself. And it's not like it's on the line of understanding that it really has nothing to do with X, Y, or Z. It is everyone's journey is different. And not to look at it as a delay, it's I had other things to do. Eight of Swords reversed, a liberation. So kind of wanted to go back to that comparison, but I don't feel it doesn't feel right. Okay. Liberating yourself from this comparison sure would be a huge freedom, but what did that have to do with it didn't feel right? It didn't feel right. I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. I just moved that underneath the King of Swords, reversed, arrogant. Comparing. I guess that's what we're talking about. Comparing. Yep. Ace of Cups, awakening. Removing this comparison game. We also had the King of Pentacles, reliability. Comparing in general, I don't know what goes through everybody's head, but I can see what's online, and it is like a lot of look at me, look what I'm doing, look what I have. And to be fair, I think some of it is for truly for entertainment, and I have to do crazy things to get people's attention to make money this way. I get that. I could see that. And then other stuff is it really is look at me. And it's everywhere. Everything is flash. It is I got this girlfriend, or I got this boyfriend, I got this house. One person starts cooking on a black stone and everyone and their fucking brother has them. Great marketing, great advertising. When we really look at this possession and material uh, experience that we have, it is all advertising. Why do sports exist? That advertising pays for so much, you know? Uh, there is so much in selling things. And when we look at that comparison, I think a lot of comparison is done that way through material. It has to be. Why do we have to have our vehicles look certain ways or ourselves look a certain way to the external? When we drive with that and it's not really on a useful or a healthy space, it is the need for the external to validate me, to show that I am something, because it's not really built in here. Just totally removing that and actually building that in here and not making decisions or doing actions for that external validation, you become this energetic frequency that attracts people. I'm going to say like certain people that may not be viewed as tens and on a lesser number of attraction are actually quite attractive Um, and like if you would compare a photo or something, you're like, why is that person so much more attractive than this higher ranking individual that society deems as attractive? It's because of their energetic signature. It's they're in a place that they're living for themselves, and not in a selfish way. It is, I'm not surrounding myself with all these things to get external validation or acceptance or be received in a certain way. I'm just being me, and that is so attractive. And not just on action, but like our vibration energetically. You're just emitting it, and people are drawn to it because they're a little jealous of it. They probably don't use that word. They probably don't understand why they're attracted to it, but it's authenticity. It is a pure energy, and uh, that is worth its weight in gold, way more than any of the other things. So I don't really know where this went. I'll see what happened when I rewatch it, but I will talk to y'all later. See ya.